Hi, my name is Vanessa, and this is my teaching disposition. So very quickly, just a few of the concepts I wanted to talk about today. There are 10 in the teacher disposition survey. I strongly agree with every single one of them. So I'm going to start with believing. You have to believe in your students first and their ability to succeed. So, for instance, if you have an IEP student and a regular student, you have to believe that with extra time and resources, that IEP student is just as capable of learning at the same level as the other student. Now, the next one is embracing diversity, particularly cultural diversity. Schools are full of students that are different. They are not all the same. There are African American, there are Indian, there are white, and they're very sensitive about it. So you have to embrace it and accept everybody for who they are and even find ways to encourage them to embrace it themselves. Like for Martin Luther King Day, in my classroom, we talked about social justice, which leads me to the next one, being fair and ethical. Students need teachers that are fair and that are ethical. They need teachers who are going to demonstrate what they should be as students by their own actions, which will take me then to reflection and experience. Even as teachers, we need to continue reflecting on our days, how our students are learning, how they're not learning, and we need the experience to get better at what we do. Now, the next one is curiosity. Students need to be encouraged to ask questions, and they shouldn't be afraid to ask questions, because what is the point of learning without learning how to inquire and to gain those skills? And those skills, they're necessary for deeper understandings of the world and for students to grow into teachers themselves or doctors, whatever they want to do. They have to ask questions. They have to be encouraged to learn more and think broader. Now, the next one goes to integrity. Teachers need to mind what they're doing, even when no one's watching. Like right now, this is my planning period. I'm sitting here making my teaching disposition video rather than, sitting around on my phone, which is something that my students always do, but they're not making videos like this one. They're playing video games or, just doing something that's not productive. So, you want to engage in productive activities so that you can show the students how to do the same for themselves. The next one is friendliness. As a teacher, you want to be friendly to the students and to the staff because the people you work with are your life. They really are. And you want to make sure that you enjoy it. So one of those ways is by providing intellectual, emotional, and spiritual support. Even though I'm at a public school, I will encourage my kids 100% and the other teachers. And sometimes, yes, the monitors and I talk and we pray for our school and for each other because teaching middle school is hard. Now, this leads me to servant leadership. You got to lead by giving. You got to show the students and the teachers that you're willing to give that extra time and effort because it makes a huge difference rather than just leaving as soon as the bell rings. I never do. I always stay hours after to make sure everything's ready. And finally, committed. You want to make sure that you're committed because if you're not committed, there's no point in being an educator. An educator, number one, has to love what they do and stick to it no matter what, because educators have a tough job. It's not perfect, but it's so worth it in the end. And that is the end of my video.